Welcome aboard. It's Captain G with the Turn 14 January 1943 turn recap as we prepare to move into Turn 15. Checking first the economy. Let's see if I can move the light to eliminate that glare. The world's largest economy remains the U.S. with an income of 61 and 12 bonuses for a take-home of 73 every turn. Germany and the Soviet Union are both sitting at 54, although Germany's making slightly more in bonuses. But both sides continue to earn the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact bonuses, and the Soviets the extra technology, which works well. They've been at that since Turn 6, January 1939. They've signed the pact and have had peaceful coexistence. So after those two peaceful powers come Japan as the fourth of the major powers, Italy with 24 IPP as the lone middle power, although Britain is surging now, back up to 18 after the KPMG audit of all the incomes. And then the minor powers with the KMT and Free France down to 1 each, although the KMT is still earning their bonus and Free France has none. From a technology standpoint, it's a three-way tie with Germany, the Soviets, and the United States as individual powers, each with 4 completed techs. Great Britain, Japan, 2 each. And Italy is on the board with 1. But the U.S. has a number of technologies that they're starting to bring up, as is Germany. So we'll see who can complete that 5th tech. Great Britain's got 2 that are 1 away, as does Japan. So it'll be interesting to see, do Britain and Japan catch the big 3, or do one of them take a lead over the others? When we go to strategic objectives, we see the Comintern's on the board. Now that they are at war with a major power, and this, I could be misreading this, but I went through and revisited all of their strategic objectives. They get this because they still have Leningrad, Stalingrad, and Moscow, and it's not likely that Great Britain's going to take any of those 3 cities soon, and that's who they are at war with. They're gaining on their technological supremacy, and the Winter War is Helsinki. So the Soviets might rack up 3 here fairly quickly in the next couple turns. But they'll have to move quickly because next turn is turn 15, and we start rolling for end of game at turn 17. So let's take a look at where we are with that last turn. Big events by continent. South America, it seems that the Latin Americans have turned against the U.S. They gave the Americans some false intel about a location of a German sub that had moved over to the coast of Africa. So the anti-submarine operations that the U.S. did here, they were literally chasing ghosts and phantoms. So that was a big development that the Kaiser enjoyed seeing, that the Brazilians are still holding a grudge against the U.S. invasion of Portugal. In Africa, in the Battle of the Jungle, the Rumble in the Jungle, the Italian Expeditionary Force captured Cameroon. I've not heard where Free France has placed their capital. The Axis bet is on the island of Madagascar, the lone income-generating territory. Although they could pick one of these islands, we highly doubt it will be one of these 2 remaining African possessions, since they're isolated and surrounded. But that is up to the Free French. The Italians made the big move this turn, not only securing their Gibraltar forces and reinforcing it with air and ground forces and their German allies, but successfully pushing the Americans off the Iberian Peninsula and liberating Portugal. But the U.S. countered by shifting their fleet north and positioning it to threaten Germany and fortress Europe. So we'll be curious to see where they go. We are now to the point where Great Britain and the U.S. can declare Operation Overlord and do a joint invasion of the continent. So we'll have to keep an eye on how that works. Again, all quiet on the Eastern Front. Germany and the Soviet Union are at peace. The Soviets, though, are expanding their sphere of influence into Finland and are one city zone away from completing a strategic objective by capturing Helsinki. Not sure if these British militia in Poland will be able to win the war against the Soviets, but that's the only force they have there. In the Middle East, the Axis and the Comintern have divided up Iran and India. It looks like the Japanese have a strong hold there, although attack, counterattack, attack, counterattack. The Japanese Marine force that went in to that territory just north of Calcutta was overwhelmed by the FEC response. Plus, this force is a large air and ground unit, the largest the FEC has left. So those two forces combined are knocking at the door of Calcutta. We'll see what the FEC has in store for them. China, because they were not taken care of earlier on by the KMT or Japan, CCP has started to spread like a nasty virus throughout China. So hopefully that will get under some control as Japan and KMT military forces eye each other over the mountains, with the KMT Air Force just as big as any Japanese Air Force in that region. Finally, on the far side of the Pacific, off the coast of the U.S., the U.S. has finally laid down some more ships. Those are attack transports, Pacific version. And that force, plus maybe, we haven't heard any intel yet on where these are being built, but the Americans just laid down 3 fleet carriers, 3 battleships, plus the carrier that they have that's 1 stage away. That is quite a large force that the U.S. could drop whenever they want. So we are getting into the late game. Can the Axis hold on to their advantage? Will the KMT break out and strike for London? Can the Western Allies liberate France? These and all the other questions you have will be answered next as we go to July 1943, turn 15, Germany. On behalf of Mark the Shark, Lancer Bolt, and Eggman, I am Captain G. Over and out.